Zee Companion के second half में आप सबका स्वागत है. मैं हूं Natasha. Today is our wellness day and हम बात करते हैं in the first half all about yoga. And I'm joined with a very special guest here in the studio with me. 12 साल से ज़्यादा इनका तजुर्बा है. He went through all the difficulties, health problems in the past. Like having taken upon yoga in his life has certainly been turned around. And I introduced him to you before, introduce him to you again. His name is Dr. Mehul Zee and he's here in the studio with me today. So Dr. Shah, it's a pleasure to have you with on Zee Companion.
Pleasure to be here, Natasha.
I am very, very sorry. Your break जाने से पहले मैंने आप लोगों से वादा किया था कि अगर आपको ज़मीन पे उठने से प्रॉब्लम होता है तो we were going to show you a certain exercise. लेकिन एक छोटी सी टेक्निकल इशू की वजह से हम आपको नहीं दिखा पाएंगे. लेकिन do not worry because we're certainly going to show you a lot more exercises and help you with those questions that you have. लेकिन I'm going to go to Dr. Shah very soon and ask him a question, particularly जिन लोगों के लिए जोड़ों के दर्द में होते हैं. But first we're going to go to Pushpa. So Pushpa, welcome to Zee Companion.
गुड इवनिंग नताशा.
हाय पुष्पा,
शान कॉन्सर्ट 2 टिकट मिल गया है.
बहुत अच्छा.
थैंक यू फॉर. एंड मेरा क्वेश्चन है डॉक्टर से कि मैं 5 साल से योगा कर रही हूँ और अभी लास्ट ईयर इंजरी हुआ था तो अभी फिजियोथेरेपी चल रहा है. अभी मेरे ए वीक में फिजियोथेरेपी कर रही हूँ लेकिन ए वीक में मेरी राइट नी है ना उसमें बहुत दर्द होता है. तो अभी क्या वो मिस्टेक कुछ होता है या तो आर्थराइटिस की वजह से होता है मुझे मालूम नहीं पड़ता है. फिजियोथेरेपी एक्सरसाइज में तो कुछ तकलीफ नहीं हो सकती है.
ओके पुष्पा, आप कह रही थी कि 5 साल से आप योगा कर रही हैं.
हाँ 5 साल से मैं योगा कर रही हूँ. राम बापू इधर आया था ना तो उसकी लाइव में कॉन्सर्ट में मैं गई थी.
ओके
या 7 एक्सरसाइज कर रही हूँ. ब्रीथ एक्सरसाइज.
अच्छा ठीक है. Pushpa's been doing yoga for 5 years, but she's been having a lot of joint pain recently. Pushpa, एक सेकंड क्योंकि फिलहाल हमारे जो डॉक्टर शाह हैं उनको हिंदी नहीं आती, so I'm having to translate what you've just said, okay? So she's been having a lot of problem with her joints for quite some time. She's been going to the physiotherapist recently, but she's having a lot of joint pain. So
Okay, so generally with joints, we have to keep them moving. The reason for this is that to protect the bit between the two bones, to protect the joints, is something we call the synovial fluid, which is like a very thick, viscous oil. And what that does is it lubricates the bits between the bones in the joints so that the bones don't rub against each other. But we have to keep them moving. By keeping them moving, the synovial fluid will not dry out. If they're static, it starts to dry out and then we start to get the pain. But if we keep them moving, then the body will nourish that area with more fresh synovial fluid. And so was it knees that you're talking about? Okay, so I can show Pushpa a really good exercise to do which will help to bring movement to the knees without putting any pressure on them. What you do is you lie down on your back and you imagine that you're riding a bicycle. So you would bring your knees close to your chest and then you just cycle upside down like so. And what that does is it's starting to take the knee, if you look, it's starting to take the knee through its full range of motion. Okay. It also is doing the similar thing to the hip area and the ankle joint. So it's not just helping the knee, but it's also helping the hip and the ankle joint. And after a few cycles in one direction, you just change direction to do it the opposite way.
Okay.
And the other thing it does is that it also helps you to lose weight.
Really?
Because it's stimulating the whole area here, it's getting the blood flowing, it's getting the heartbeat up. So movements like those, where you're not putting any weight on the knee joints, so it's very easy to do.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that great advice. Pushpa, उम्मीद है कि आपके सवाल का जवाब आपको मिल गया होगा and you'll certainly try those exercises. लेकिन अगर आपको कोई भी दर्द हो, if you have any problems or issues, then please stop or go and see your doctor for more help and advice and guidance. Let's go on to our next caller now who's waiting online. Saroj, welcome to Zee Companion.
Hi Natasha and hi Mehul.
Hello Saroj.
What's your
I
question?
think you did do something for sciatica, but I have got a different kind of a problem. I've had a knee replacement 2 months ago and I already had knee replacement on my other knee as well. So the ones that you were putting pressure on the knees, I won't be able to do it. What happened after my surgery after a month? I started having hip problem on the other leg and I have got sciatica on that, not the replaced knee, but the other knee, other leg I mean. Can you show me something that I can do with ease? Because it's causing me a lot of pain and I'm still recovering from my knee replacement on the other knee.
Okay, so I won't show you the one where we went, but could you do the half locust movement where you lie down onto your stomach and then lift one leg up? Could you do that?
Yes, I can do that.
So that is very good.
Other ones where I slap my the sciatica knee down towards the floor. So it relieves from the hip.
Okay.
But for the sciatica, if you can show me anything else, I don't know.
You could do the standing version of exactly the same posture. The only thing I would suggest is that you have to be a little bit careful. You have to be a little bit careful that you don't fall over. So if you need to, you can take the support. I'm not going to take a support, but you can take support of a table or a chair. And the idea would be that you'd start off in the standing position, and then you slide one leg back slightly, like I have done, taken the heel off the floor, and then you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you just lift that foot off the floor, just 1 or 2 inches. And even this simple looking movement, it works the back really strongly. It will start to release the trapped nerves in there. And that's effectively, it's exactly the same position that I was doing from the floor, except you're not putting any weight on the knee now, because you're not pressing down onto the floor on the knee. But it is that half locus movement.
Okay.
And that is...
Okay, because my 4 and 5 need decompressing as well.
Okay, so in terms of decompressing, one of the very good postures you can do is a cat pose, or if you can't come onto your knees, okay, one of the things you could do to release the lower area in your back is just simply lie down and hug your knees. Just bring the knees to the chest and just hug them like so, and that will help to release that low L4, L5.
Okay.
Okay, so Roj, best of luck with that, and I certainly hope you get some relief, because I know how painful a knee replacement can be. My mum had one, and it's really a horrible time. So anyway, thank you very much for your call, Sir Roj. Let's move on to our next caller now, who's been waiting patiently online. Hi there, welcome to Zee Companion.
Hello.
Anji, Bala, welcome to the show. क्या पूछना चाहेंगे आज के मेहमान से?
Hello.
Bala, please, you're going to have to turn your TV volume down.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Hello. Bala, what's your question, please?
Yeah. Hello.
Bala, we can hear you. What's your question, please?
मुझे ये पूछना था, I want to ask you, I got a hernia, तो कौन सी एक्सरसाइज नहीं कर सकता हूँ?
Okay, what exercise can someone not do if they've got hernia?
Definitely not put any pressure in the area where they've got hernia. So if it's, usually it's abdominal, sometimes it could be the groin area. Wherever you've got the hernia, you don't put any pressure in that area at all. So like those twists that I was talking about, the abdominal exercises, you wouldn't do any of those sort of things. What you have to do is you have to ask your doctor or your physio as to what are the restrictions onto your movements, and make sure that you respect those, because hernias are where, you've got a little bit of a weakness in the abdominal cavity or wall, and as a result of that, you've got a little bit of bulge that comes out. Now, you don't want to make it any worse. So I would actually say listen and ask your doctor or ask your GP, and when you have a list of the restrictions that you can't do, then go to a local yoga class and talk to your local yoga teacher about it, and then they'll be able to show you what you can do and what you can't. But as a general thing, I would say protect that whole area until it is strong enough again.
Okay. Bala, thank you very much for your call. All the best with your hernia, and just हमारे मेहमान ने भी कहा कि make sure if you do go to any classes, you find out and speak to your teacher and explain to them that you do definitely, and make sure they're aware that you have a hernia problem, and they'll be able to guide you what is the best thing कि आप क्या करें या क्या ना करें, particularly with the issue that you have. Let's go to our next caller now. I'm apologetic if I pronounce your name wrong. I believe we have Rambert online.
Hello.
Mr. Rambert, welcome to Zee Companion. आप क्या पूछना चाहेंगे आज हमारे मेहमान से?
Yeah, I'm holding it.
Okay, आपसे अब दरख्वास्त करूंगी, आप सबसे वक्त हमारे पास बहुत कम है, and अगर आप हमारे साथ फोन पे हैं, then please turn your TV volume down. So Mr. Brambert, please turn your volume down. आप क्या पूछना चाहेंगे आज हमारे?
Hello.
हाँ जी, Mr. Brambert, आपकी आवाज हमें आ रही है. आप क्या पूछना चाहेंगे आज हमारे मेहमान से? Okay, I'm really sorry, but we're going to have to cut the caller because we do have other callers waiting online. Right, so we have Nina online. Nina, welcome to Zee Companion.
Yeah. Hello, Natasha. Hi, Nina.
Hi, Nina. Lovely to hear from
मैं
you.
डॉक्टर से पूछना चाहती हूँ, तो मुझे हाई बीपी है, तो मुझे कौन सा एक्सरसाइज नहीं करना चाहिए उसमें?
अच्छा, क्या एक्सरसाइज नहीं करना चाहिए? She has high blood pressure, and wants to know what should she not do?
Okay, so with high blood pressure, generally you have to be very careful when you go into deep inversions. So, for example, and by inversions I mean that where your head is below your heart, you have to be a little bit careful. So I can show you so she's asking what you can't do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you the sort of things you have to be careful when you may be able to do these postures, but be very, very careful.
ठीक है बीना, ये demonstration है कि आपको क्या ध्यान से करना चाहिए, खास करके अगर आप योगा कर रही हो. Be careful because this may not be suitable for you, okay? It may not. So I'll be the card. Okay, so anything like this.
Anything like this. The important thing is that go very slowly. If you are going to do this, go very slowly into the posture and then come out very slowly. So no rapid movements as well.
Okay.
And otherwise, just look out for signs of dizziness or any discomfort. As always, any signs of discomfort, you bring yourselves out. There is a lot of yoga you can do though. The main thing with high blood pressure is be very careful in the inversions. Otherwise, don't let that stop you do the yoga, because yoga is so good and so beneficial for people with high blood pressure. You'll find that it will start to stabilize, hopefully. That's what happens in a lot of people. It starts to stabilize and come down.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for your call and best of luck with that. I really hope you get some relief and make sure you keep wary of any pose that may cause you any discomfort. चलिए इससे अपने अगली कॉलर की तरफ, जिनका नाम है सोनिया. Sonia, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi Sonia, क्या पूछना चाहिए जवान मेहमान से?
Yes, actually I want to know just some asanas for flat belly. My husband has a back pain problem, so any asana for his back pain.
Yes.
And daily routines with things we eat daily or some. So I want to know some tips for daily routine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for back pain, yoga is absolutely fantastic for looking after your back, because the spine plays such an important part in yoga that there are many exercises. The half locust that I showed you is very, very good. There are 3 things you need to do, and this is for everybody, not just those people who have back pain, because yoga is preventative as well as curative. Okay. 3 things you need to do to look after your back. One is make sure your posture is correct. So Natasha, you asked me earlier, and I showed you about the posture. The other thing you do is you strengthen the back, and one of the things that I showed you to strengthen the back was a half locust. I'm going to show you another thing to do to strengthen, and then I'll come to the third thing you can do for your back. So the half locust was one. The other one is a sphinx pose. It is very, very good to do. What you do is you bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders, and then you would settle everything from the waist down onto the floor. You lift your head and neck above the shoulders and push the chest forwards and upwards like so, and this helps to strengthen the back. Okay. It's a soft version of what's known as a cobra pose.
And how long would one hold this for?
Again, I would normally suggest that you hold it for about 20 seconds or so. If you're comfortable, this is not a very demanding posture.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, hold it for a little bit longer, but always listen to your body.
Is there any need to lift the neck? Often we see in yoga lift the neck.
I was about to say, to complete, because what it also does is starts to stretch out the front part of the body. To complete the stretch, you take your chin forwards and upwards, and if you wish, you can also engage the eye muscles, and you can roll your eyes up as well, like so.
Okay.
And then you breathe deeply.
I have a question for you. Is it better to do yoga in the morning, afternoon, or night?
Okay, I'll come to that. Let me give Sonia.
Yeah.
By the way, our younger daughter is called Sonia as well, so we love that name. We're going to just lower yourself down. Remember to take your counter pose into child like this. Okay, so I talked about 2 things.
Yeah.
The third thing you do for your back is mobility. And we went forward, we went backwards, so that's the forward and backward movements. I showed a twist as well. So there are 6 movements with the spine that you would do. The forward, backward, twist to the left, twist to the right, and then there is a side stretch. So you would just stretch out like this. So you're stretching in one direction and then a lateral stretch in the other direction. That's just 6 simple movements you do for the spine every day. It won't take you more than 5 minutes to keep that mobility. Now to come to your question.
Yeah.
Sonia, is that okay?
Thank you very much for your call, Sonia. I hope that answers your question. Again, this might benefit every viewer of ours who's interested in yoga.
Yeah. Yoga better to do in the morning or the day or night. It's actually best to do it both in the morning as well as night. I would say that, of course. But the important thing is you do yoga on an empty stomach. You do it regularly. When I used to work, I always used to find that there wasn't sufficient time to do it in the morning because you're rushing to get to work. So I used to come home, and then pre-dinner time was yoga time.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so just 45 minutes to an hour before dinner was a very, very good time. It also meant that it gave me time to wind down. All the stresses of work had been left to one side, and then I'm ready to relax, have my dinner relaxed, and then afterwards wind down, go to sleep. So pre-dinner, especially for busy people, is not a bad time. Otherwise, if if you can afford to, pre-breakfast is a very, very good time to do yoga, because what you will find is that the energy that is released in yoga before you start your day is going to carry you throughout the day, and your body will be so much looser because you've stretched the muscles out.
Okay, thank you very much for answering that question. चलते हैं अपने अगले कॉलर की तरफ, जिनका नाम है Raj. Raj, welcome to the show.
Hello, Natasha. How are you?
Hi Raj, long time no hear. It's lovely to hear from you today. आप क्या पूछना चाहेंगे आज हमारे गेस्ट से?
Yeah. In yoga, we have asana for stress and anxiety, and there is one asana called Sinhasana. Would you please demonstrate this Sinhasana?
Raj, Sinhasana.
And one asana for anxiety.
Anxiety. Okay. So Sinhasana, if I've understood the asana correct, is the lion pose. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what you would do there is there's more than one way of doing it. I'll demonstrate one way of doing it. And what it helps to do is it helps to release stress, because you're going to roar the stress out of your body like a lion. So you'd sit in Vajrasana like this. You place your hands out in front of you. You take a deep breath in, and then I'm going to actually do it, because you stick your tongue out and you imagine you're that lion, and you just roar the stress out. So you go like this. And that is why it helps to release the stress, because it sounds stupid, I know, but it actually takes the stress out, because you're roaring like a lion, and anything that's pent up inside of you, it just goes out. You just do about 6 breaths like those. Deep breath in, and you just roar, and you stick your tongue out, and you become that lion. Anxiety. Now, normally, many things that help with anxiety. I mentioned the Trinity breath earlier, if you look back in the program. The other thing is that when you do any forward bending poses, they help to calm the nervous system down. So if you can, a simple posture like the child pose that I showed earlier, where you start off sitting like this, you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you just fall forward and relax. As you spend some time in that posture, a number of things start to happen. Your back starts to release, and it starts to stretch us out. So any tension there goes away. You start to calm your nervous system down. And because there's a gentle inversion going on, your blood doesn't have to work hard to send supply of blood to the head. Your heart doesn't have to work hard to send a good supply of blood to the head area. You're getting gravity doing that for you, and that will help you to release the anxiety. The other thing that happens is that it encourages you to distract yourself away from the world's problems, because you're folding inwards and you're going within yourself, and this is what yoga is about. It's going within yourself and not being concerned about what happens around you. So this posture like this, you're just folding inside. And that will help you to relieve the anxiety.
Thank you for answering that, Mehul. Let's go to our next caller now, who's Ashwin. Ashwin, thank you for being so patient, and welcome to Zee Companion.
Oh, hello. I just like to ask you, Mehul Zee, how Bhastrika Pranayam helps. Okay,
Ashwin, first of all, a precaution, because Bhastrika is a very, very strong form of pranayama. So I would first make the precaution that, be very, very careful that you only do this if your body is ready for it. Otherwise, Bhastrika Pranayama, the bellows breath as it is known, where you breathe in deeply and you exhale forcefully out of the lungs, what that helps to do is it helps to energize your whole body by sending prana flowing throughout your body. It helps to strengthen the lungs. It helps to strengthen the diaphragm, which is your main breathing muscle. It's a dome-shaped muscle here. That's when it flattens is when you breathe in, and then it relaxes when you breathe out. It helps, Bhastrika will help to tone the whole of the abdominal area, and at the same time increase your lung capacity, because it helps to stretch out the muscles that are responsible for expanding your rib cage, the intercostals. So it's a very, very good one to do, but it is very, very strenuous. It is a very powerful exercise. I would exercise a lot of caution in doing it.
Okay, Ashwin, thank you very much for your call. Let's move on to our next caller now. Jinka naam hai Vinay. Vinay, welcome to Zee Companion.
Hello, Natasha.
Hi,
I just want to ask Dr. Shah.
Okay, ask away.
If you can't sit in Vajrasana, how can you do the exercises?
You can do several exercises. Not all of them require you to be able to sit in Vajrasana. So, for example, if I give the example of the child pose, that's one that I just showed a few minutes ago, and you wouldn't be able to do if you can't sit in Vajrasana, then you can still get many of the benefits by just lying down on your back and hugging your knees. Okay? You'll still get many of the benefits of the child pose that way. Then other thing you can do, many people cannot sit in Vajrasana because of the tightness in the ankles. So you could sit cross-legged. And you could do some of the things from a cross-legged position. Again, it's one of those things that it depends on which posture you're trying to do and whether that requires you to be in Vajrasana as a starting point or not. Many of them don't. There are lots of postures you can do that don't require to be in Vajrasana. Again, I would suggest that find a good local yoga class, go to your yoga teacher, explain to them your limitations, and they'll be able to give you alternatives for what you can do.
Okay, Vinay, thank you very, very much for your call. उम्मीद है कि आपके सवाल का जवाब आपको मिल गया होगा. वक्त हमारे पास काफी कम है. We do have callers and I'm going to try and squeeze in as many as I can. Let's go to our next caller, whose name is Al-Noor. Welcome to Zee Companion.
Hi, good evening to you.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to have you on the show with us. What is your question for our expert today?
Yeah, hi. I just was going to ask you for some help. What it is for the past 6 to 8 months, I've had an issue with from my back of my neck to my left shoulder. Okay, there's constant pain. So I was going to ask you if you can suggest any yoga exercises which I can carry out to ease the pain.
Yes.
It's been with me for the last 6 to 8 months.
Okay, Alnur. So it's been there for a long time. I'll show you some exercises, but I'll also suggest that you get your neck looked at as well. But very, very simple exercises both for shoulders and the neck to relieve the pain. One is that I'll start with the shoulders. If you can just roll the shoulders. So what you do is take your shoulders forwards, take them up, take them back, and drop them down. So simple movements like just rolling the shoulders like this will start to help to release the tension that is in your neck area that you mentioned between, from the neck down to the shoulder. So you make movements like this. You typically do about a dozen rolls in one direction, a dozen rolls in the opposite direction. And you would do that in the morning, you could do that in the midday, you could do that in the evening as well. That's okay because there's nothing very strenuous about this. For your neck, the best thing is to have the neck moving in a few directions. So the main things you can do, you can take a breath in. As you breathe out, you can turn your head towards your right, keeping the chin parallel to the ground. Again, just take it as far as you're comfortable. Hold it there for 1 or 2 breaths, and then breathing in, you'd come back to the center, and then breathing out, you'd go in the opposite direction like so. Hold it there for 1 or 2 breaths. Breathing in, come to the center, and then as you breathe out, this time you take your chin upwards towards the ceiling.
And how many times should you do this?
Again, you could do, you complete the set by tucking the chin down towards the chest. So that's 4 directions, and you would do that about 3 or 4 times completely, so 3 times in once, 3 or 4 sets like those. Again, as long as you're comfortable.
Wonderful. Al-Noor, thank you very much for your call. Please do go and seek advice and help from your doctor if you experience any pain. Now, I have been told that मेरे पास सिर्फ 90 seconds है. I have one caller and मैं पूरी कोशिश करूँगी कि Mehul and I answer the caller's question. So, Harsha, welcome to Zee Companion.
Hello.
Hi, Harsha, you are going to be in world record time tonight, my lovely, on the show. So what is your question for our expert today?
Right. My question is that whenever I walk and I walk a little distance, my shin and my legs start hurting, and the same happens with my when I climb the stairs. So is there any exercise that I can do?
Okay.
I would suggest first get your leg looked at by a GP. Okay, there are exercises that can be done, but I'm afraid we're running out of time, so I can't really tell you, but have it looked by a GP and then a local yoga teacher.
Okay. Harsha, thank you very much for your call. I'm so sorry we weren't able to go into more depth and detail, but I'll get to an end. Mehul, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you with us here today and answering all the questions and some brilliant demos. I really do appreciate it.